How's everybody doing? Tim Bartz here, McArthur Ford, Salina, Kansas. We're on live here. I think looks like my audio is doing good. I did do a little tweaking with my mic for this for the live stream, and I also made it to where I'm going to be looking straight ahead, so I don't have to turn my head. So the mic should work pretty well today and not have any cut off there. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. So how's everybody doing? Kind of reading some of the comments. Got me some good ideas for questions here in just a little bit. And down in the description, you can see down there, I actually have kind of a few things that we're going to discuss today. As always, scheduling, what vehicles are being scheduled, scheduling notes, as well as what I know so far on the F-150 Lightning, what upcoming videos we have going on, and Maverick news, of course. And you'll also see some information down there we're going to talk about in just a little bit. So we're going to get going. So we got some people in here from Texas, all over. Usually have some people in here from I think up in Maine. Are they in there? I think they're in here too as well. So anyway, we're going to get started here. First, let's talk about what we're going to talk about scheduling, what's going on here with what vehicles are being scheduled and what ones are not. So here's some vehicles that are not going to be scheduling this week. Bronco Sport is not getting scheduled this week. EcoSport, Edge, Expedition is not getting scheduled. Transit, Mach-E, that actually got that Monday. They told us it was going to be scheduling, and then they changed that today. Nautilus and Navigator, those vehicles, those models are not getting scheduled for this week. The vehicles that are getting scheduled for this week, 22 Broncos. So this is the first week for the 22. It's startup for December. So they're going to get some vehicles will be scheduled this week. 22 F-150s are being scheduled for stock orders only. So retail F-150 orders are not being scheduled, just stock orders. Of course, 22 Maverick it's a cleanup week for any dealers that don't have theirs. We did get our other two allocations last week, so we don't have any allocations until the week of November 8th. So if you have an order in with us, don't worry about it. We don't have any allocations right now. We did go through our 20 allocations already. 22 Super Duties getting scheduled. 22 Transit Connect. 22 Escape, Explorer. Mustang retail orders only. So that'd be those custom orders for 22 Mustang will get scheduled this week. 22 Aviator and 22 Corsair. So those are the vehicles that are getting scheduled this week. Let me know if you need me to go over any more of those. So have those. Welcome Gary from Ohio. See one of our members there. And of course we do have Ridgeview is in here as well. So anyway, okay, so that's kind of what's been scheduled. A couple different scheduling notes that I want to talk about. The first things I want to talk about is that the 21 Expedition and 21 Navigators have been pushed back. So if you don't have those orders in, you have till November 4th to get those orders in for any leftover 21 allocations that are there. 22 Bronco orders, of course, they're starting to schedule this week. So, hopefully those orders already was submitted. We try to get all of ours done by last Friday, so they would be all moved over, because the way Ford did that was they copied the 21 orders over as a 22 and gave it priority 99 on all of those. So the dealership had to go in there with the customers, verify those orders, move them from 99 to whatever they are between 10 and 19, so that they'd be looked at for scheduling this week. Also, 22 F-150 Lightning. We do not know when order banks are open up. Again, last couple of weeks, I kind of referred to some information that was on our locator system that said you need to have your prices in by the 26th. There was no confirmation that the 26th is when it was going to open up. They did say that it was going to be public soon, but I think they are struggling a little bit because they do want to roll this out in waves. In fact, I'm doing a video on the process for the F-150 Lightning, like I did with Maverick as well. That video should go live tomorrow. So be looking for that video. But one of the things we know is that it's supposed to be going out in waves. According to our scheduling notes from last month on the Lightning, right here, it says get ready. It says customers will place orders in the U.S. order bank in waves with updated commodities and timing. So we know that. We know allocations are going to be based on converted orders by the dealership, as well as the share of F-150 and Ford sales in their region. So that helps McArthur out. We should get a lot of, hopefully, F-150 Lightning orders because of that there. So we know it's going to go in waves, so we just don't know when that's going to be. Somebody has out there that it was in December. Ford hasn't told us anything, but they did tell us that there's going to be information real soon. How soon real soon is? My assumption is we do our scheduling, our wholesale next month, which means our Ford rep comes in, we go through what is being scheduled and what their plan is for the month for each model line and how many allocations we have. And usually, I just assume that they're going to have that information for dealers. So any dealers doing their wholesale at the end of this week, we may get that information. So I think that's what they're meaning by real soon. So I think that's going to be going. The Ford reps will go over each of their dealers with that process. And I know that last time on Bronco, they did a big, they did a information video to all the Ford dealers that we were able to watch the broadcast, and we watched it as a team. I remember on Bronco. So I'm assuming maybe they're going to do the same thing for Lightning. So hopefully this week, next week, we see some information on that. So be looking for that information. Of course, just like always, if you have an F-150 Lightning reservation, I'll be dropping something on our YouTube channel. So you definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. Some videos that we have upcoming. I do have that Lightning order process video going out tomorrow. I do have a Timberline video that I've recorded. We did get a 21 Timberline in, so some close-up shots and did a walk around what's standard on those, as well as I'm going to do a video on the Bronco, the Roush Bronco package that I kind of talked about last week in the middle of the live stream. I'll be doing a video on that as well this week. So trying to get some of these videos pumped out as fast as I can, as much as I can there. I did get the F-150 Roush video as well as the Apex video went live last week, so hopefully you guys got a chance to see those. Now let's talk about some Maverick updates. So some things that I want to talk about and discuss about the Maverick. Last week, we did see some information on the hybrid version, what was going on. Hopefully some of you saw some of that. Some people actually asked about hybrid and what's going on for that. And they did release on the 21st. They did actually let me know the night before about the release so that I could put together a video and have it go live that morning. So Thursday morning, if you did subscribe to the channel, you did see that video. They talked about the hybrid. EPA is 42 miles per gallon in the city, 37 combined, was it 33 on the highway, and a range of more than 500 miles on the hybrid version. So they gave that information. Also, just kind of reading some of this stuff off, you know, that it's the first standard hybrid in America, and now it's the most fuel efficient hybrid pickup, and with an EPA of 42 miles per gallon in the city. They said it's the fourth generation hybrid propulsion system. So I think a lot of people don't realize, they think it's just the escape system put in the Maverick, and is not. It's an all new 2.5 liter Atkins cycle hybrid engine and electronic continuously variable transmission. So it's smaller, so it doesn't take away from any of your seating room, doesn't take away from any of your cargo room in the back for that battery, so that's positioned inside. You do lose a little bit of cargo underneath the seat. You're gonna have to lose something somewhere, but if that's it, so very little cargo area that's been taken up for that. And they did say hybrids are expected to start shipping out in December, with the first customer deliveries expected in January 2022. And it does say right here, so required state and federal emissions certification can be completed. So, and also here's a note that you might want to be aware of here. Due to high demand, all Maverick hybrid production for 22 model year is expected to be fully reserved by early November. Once 22 Maverick hybrids have been reserved, ordering for Maverick hybrid will close until reopening next summer. So if you have your hybrid order in, good luck, or good job. If you do not have it in yet, you better get it in quickly with a dealer. Find a dealer. I have some videos on how to find the right dealers, how to ask the right questions, that kind of thing. So be looking. You can always check that video out on our YouTube channel. So you want to get those orders in, because, you know, we've been telling a lot of our customers, get that in by the end of this month, so you can be sure, because we don't know. When it says early November, we have no idea what date in November. So it's always a good idea to get that in as quick as possible. So hopefully you did get your hybrid order in. So I want to go over that right there. Also, there was some information on the Maverick Truck Club, and Maverick Truck Club is a great source of information. A lot of people in there letting everybody know what's going on. I love going in there and reading the different posts that are in there. But one thing that was posted, somebody, they said, I think they got information from they said from a Ford dealer, a Ford person inside, that the 4K tow package was no longer available, and that was a glitch in the ordering system. So what it was somebody, because actually we've seen this glitch, it's come up a couple times, usually on Thursdays, it seems like, when they're scheduling vehicles, to where you can't order the 4K tow package. It says it's being closed out. I've reached out to the brand manager as well, and this is not true. It's just a glitch in the system. That error is coming up because I actually ordered. In fact, they flipped my order over, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit, recently, and added the 4K tow package to my build. So it can, and I did an order for somebody else earlier this week, and so it is working just fine. So it is not true that it's just a glitch in the system some days. So you just got to have the dealership try it again the next day. So, and if you go to a dealer and they tell you, we can't order the 4K tow package, it's closed out for this year, that's not true. You might let them know, hey, I think that's just a glitch in the system from what I'm hearing from other dealers. Can we try again tomorrow? And just have them keep trying it, because it does work. You can order the 4K tow package. So just want to let you know that. Also, how to claim the private offer. So if any of you out there ordered the 4K tow package with the front wheel drive on the EcoBoost engine, early on, if you did get your order in that way and you had to switch over to all-wheel drive, then you're getting that 2220 private offer. I've had people ask me how to claim that, and I have down in the description, check it out down below, the instructions. So I basically copied that off of the Vincent report from Ford. So when you go to, you're going to see that offer when you go to do your car deal at your dealer. So when that vehicle comes in, that's when you're going to see that money. It's not going to come off initially off the price. So it is a private offer where you're getting kind of like a rebate. And so you have to have your name, information, and everything. So you have to be able to get it. What they're saying is a certificate is going to come in the mail to all those people that had an order that way, and that you'll be getting a certificate number, and that number is what the dealer is going to need to be able to claim that offer for you. So information is down in the description for that, and how you would want to go ahead and claim that as well there. So also, so I think that's everything I wanted to cover on that. I do have some questions I was going to pull up here. And if you have any questions for me each week, don't forget, I do have a dedicated email address for any questions. So FordVideoGuy@gmail.com. So FordVideoGuy, I should have put that up on the screen, at gmail.com. So all one word there, all lowercase. So I do have some questions in here, so let me go ahead and pull some of these emails up and go through some of these. Someone said, I saw in your latest video the spray and bed liner doesn't cover everything. Would it be beneficial to take that out of the package and add it later? You cannot take the spray and bed liner out of the luxury package. A luxury package includes that. It is not. There's no way to take out that spray and liner out of that luxury package. So that is not possible. If you don't order the luxury package, you can make sure your order doesn't include the spray and liner. So that's something that I did actually show, that the spray and bed liner doesn't cover all the way up on some of those, and so it doesn't cover up by the glass. Ford's doesn't. So we do our spray and liner, it covers any part of that interior of that bed there. All right, so let's see. All right, Tom, who actually has an order in with us, so I appreciate you, Tom, ordering with us. He actually had a couple questions here. What is the outside diameter of the Maverick steering wheel? Don't have a Maverick in stock. Every time I get one in stock, it's an ordered unit, and I keep forgetting to go out and measure that steering wheel. Tom, I'll have to try to get that measurement. Also asked about Ford military discount. I do know that you go to see, there's actually an email address. I think you have to go online if you're in active military or retired military to see if you get that rebate. But Ford usually offers a $500 rebate for military. I think usually it's active military, or within so many months or years from being active. So, but there's a website to go to. I'll have to try to get that address next week. I didn't actually think about putting that in my in the comments down there. So I'll try to get that information as well. Okay, bed outlet. I've been hearing different answers, but to use the outlet in the bed, do you need to run the truck? This is from Raymond. So yes, you do. You do have to run the truck to run the outlet and the bed. So that's usually the way that works. I do have a video on the Pro Power on board from the F-150 hybrid, and that's exactly the way it has to work as well. You have to have the vehicle turned on for that to power to the bed. So you will have to have it turned on. So what's great about it on a hybrid, if you have a hybrid, is that it's only going to turn the engine on when it needs to. So it's going to try to run off the battery, and then if the battery gets low, then it'll turn the vehicle on, charge the battery up, and then it'll turn the engine off. So if you have a hybrid, that'd come in real handy. So you have, and actually he does say he has a hybrid first edition on order. So, okay. Also got an email here from Robert. So it's kind of lengthy. I'm going to read the first part of that if I can remember right. Requested next explain to everyone. Okay, there's some dates at the bottom of your window stickers. See if I have. So mine actually behind me actually has two different numbers here. So there is a date under the special order part, and there's a date further down. And I think the date further down is the date that window sticker was printed, and the other date is the date the vehicle was built. And it's usually printed the day after it was built. So like mine says 9/28, and then below that is 10/01. Actually, my vehicle wasn't even built on that day. So I think that might be when that window sticker was printed for production, and that's what those numbers mean. So it may not mean actually what day the vehicle was built. Okay. So, and Paul asked, I have an Explorer on order with a local dealer since August 17th. Is an allocation needed for the dealer to actually get my order scheduled? Yes, they have to have allocations for that. But if they have one on order, they typically will give you allocations. So as long as they have some Explorer orders or some orders in, and they ordered it through the COVP. So even now, I don't think dealers even still understand that you have to order all vehicles through that COV process. Like I ordered an Expedition for my wife today. Because we're gonna, our lease is coming due this spring on it, and so I went ahead and just decided to order a 22. Well, I submitted the order, but I haven't filled everything out, so I still have the order sheet here, right? And I haven't filled it out yet. So I have the order sheet, but I haven't filled it out yet. So I need to fill that out and get that to our person, as well as a copy of my driver's license. Then once she submits it, then that order is going to be looked at for order scheduling. So I did get the email that confirmed that we got the order in, but until I fill this out and do the driver's license, Ford's not going to look at it. So that includes for any allocations. In fact, last month when we went through wholesale, they said, well, but do you, we said we had 300 orders for Maverick. They says, but did you run them all through the COVP? And we're like, yes, we did. So they're looking for that. So they're not going to give you allocations for orders unless you did it correctly through that COVP process. Okay. Hopefully I answered that for you, Paul. Okay. Richard asks, can the Lightning be flat-towed behind an RV? I don't know. We haven't given information on that. I know in Maverick, when they came out with the order guide and such, they had an RV and towing guide as well available, and they have not had this, not in any Ford's resources that I have yet. So we don't know that at this time. All right. And then, see, RL Polk, he has several questions here. So let me see if I can, how many of these I can answer here. I'm a member of the disabled veterans, American veterans, and discovered that I get online that could get X plan. So what you need for X plan, I think it's basically he's asking about the process and how that works and everything. So Ford already calculates the X plan on vehicles that are ordered. Some vehicles can get X plan. Just found out the X plan is not going to be available on the F-150 Lightning. A plan and Z plan and D plan will be available, but not X plan. And so anyway, so X plan is calculated based off usually the invoice number or usually off the D plan number, I believe. And they come up with that calculation. And then he also asked about the military discount as well. So that is also something that you apply for through the website that they have for that. And I'll have to get that website for next week's video. Also, he asked, what exactly is an acquisition fee listed on Maverick Build website? So acquisition fee, that is if you're leasing. So if you actually go into a little calculator button, you can actually flip over to the finance deal. When you do that and then save it, then you'll notice the acquisition fee disappears. So that is just for a lease deal. So if you're leasing, there is a, I think it's $625 or $675 acquisition fee on there. How and when does Law McArthur calculate trade-in vehicle? We usually try to wait and do that. We can give you an estimation now, but if it takes several months, values can change. You drive the vehicle a little bit as well, and that can change the value on it. You also, pay your vehicle down. We've done that for a couple customers, but keep in mind that that number could change based on, what the market says the vehicles are worth. But we typically will do that, when it gets close. Usually when we know that that vehicle is that's shipped from the factory, that's about time when we could start working, the financing and the trade and everything at that point in time. So, okay. You mentioned on your previous video that you had detailed a Maverick option list from Ford on your website. Where's the link? Okay, so if you go to our website and there's a tab under the new tab, there's a Maverick page. So click on that Maverick page, and on that page there's 4 different buttons for different little links for different information. That's where those are located, right there on our website. So let me see here if I can do that. Let me get that page up first for you. Let me flip over to that on the stream here. I actually have that set up. So if you go up to the new tab and go down to, it still says reserve, and I've asked them to fix that to where it just says 22 Ford Maverick. But when you click on that page there, you can see if you scroll down a little bit, my videos are on there, and then right below that are the different informationals about the RV and towing. So they're right there on that page. And then I have a link to technical specs. So I have those on there, and those are actually just images that Ford has for dealers. I was able to find those, convert them over to JPEGs, and slap those on our website. So there's actually, if you'll notice, each one has its own URL for that right there as well, too. So anyway, so there we go. And then he also asked about he's got a first edition on order, and he gets a tonneau cover, but he really wants that topper. That you can add as aftermarket if you want to. So you can get that. I know you can go to Ford Accessories. You can go through your Ford dealer. You should be able to order that and get that brought in. If you're doing that, if you're ordering from us, Blake in aftermarket can help you with that, or also Sean and Niles can help you with that too, and they can order that in. They're already painted from the factory or from the vendors there in the different colors that you need. So you need to know what color your exterior color is, and we order it that way. And then when it would actually be here, we'd make sure it's here before your vehicle gets here, and then we could put that on your vehicle. So even if you have a first edition, we can take the roll-up tonneau cover, that I think is what they put on it for those first editions. Could take that off, and we could put the hard shell on, or that topper, or whatever they call that now. So that can be put on there. Ford, why not just do? I agree with you. I think the tonneau covers and the spray and liner should not be in any packages. I think those should be standalone options that you just add to your vehicles there. So some good questions there. So thanks for sending those in. Also, we do have this other question here. I received a production date the week of December 6th, moved to the 13th for my Rapid Red First Edition with splash guards. So he did get his scheduled for splash guards. Splash guards, is, as some of you know, is a late availability item. And so he's saying his vehicle got scheduled with the splash guards, which I was told was not happening. So it looks like splash guards are going to be available soon for those that want to put those on your order. I still recommend you leave them off, put them on your vehicle later. But he had his ordered with the splash guards, and his did get moved back to the 13th, and it may have something to do with those splash guards. So that might be why it moved back. But at least we know middle of December, they're going to have the splash guards available for those builds. So now we know splash guards. I wonder what other late availability items are going to be available. So maybe the drop-in liner and those bed mats are going to start being available. It may be bed. Sometimes I do so many of these videos I forget, but some of those might be starting to be available there. Okay, and then Brian just emailed me just now. I ordered a Ford Maverick Hybrid on October 2nd. A salesperson had me sign the order form and took a copy of my license, and I have received an email. My question is, how long before priority code is generated? Actually, you choose the priority code when they put your order in. So it should be put in as anywhere from a 10 to 19 if it was a retail order. So the dealership, those are your options. So that is already decided on. Now, you probably hear some people say their priority code got moved to 2, and that really depends on if there's allocations available from by the dealership or not. So like right now, we have some of our orders are still sitting at 10, some are actually at 2 right now, because they're looking at a 2. They're saying, hey, this is one that we would pull if you have allocations. So when the dealership gets allocations, then that should get scheduled, and that's usually how that works. So we've actually seen some sit in that 2 priority for a while. I actually have someone that wants to change their order and can't because it's stuck in 2, and we cannot make any changes to anything that's in priority 2. So hopefully that helps out and answers some of those questions. So, and I haven't been keeping up with the stream here. Hopefully you guys are answering each other's questions here. um, okay, so Ricky did ask, Blake, are you selling your roll-up covers? And yes, we do have, I don't know if you did see earlier, I did actually post on social media that we do have, we ordered, I think, 5 of each of the covers. They came in this week on a big pallet. I was going to give you a picture, but I ran out of time getting that put in there for the stream. But we do have 5 roll-up covers. We have 5, I think, 4 soft folding covers, and we have 4 hard folding covers, and I think 5 of the roll-ups, because we realize right now a lot of people are liking the roll-up covers. So we do have a bunch of those on order there. So I see Johnny's in there in the stream here, so thanks, Johnny, for joining the stream. So, all right. And let's see what else here. Good to see you. When will you have Tim on your interview? Okay, so I missed some questions here. I'm not sure what's going on that they're talking there. I don't know what all you guys are talking about. We scroll up to the comments here. Give us an update on specific build. Yeah, I did change my build just because my son decided he just wanted to keep the Ford Fusion that he has, the hybrid. He wants to just pay it off so he doesn't have a payment for a while because he is young and wanting to get started and everything. So instead of starting over with another lease, he decided he didn't want to do that. So my order's in there, and I hated it going to waste. So I actually switched my order over to an EcoBoost. I went all-wheel drive with the 4K tow package and the FX4 package. And we're going to make that into a lifted Maverick. So we actually are working on a lifted Maverick right now. I should have hopefully that real soon. So kind of working on some footage on that and everything. So we should have some information for you real soon. I know they're working on getting that right. Now I've been seeing some lifts and such out there, and we're going to actually do a video that talks about not just showing the lift, but also telling you what lift we put on, what things we came, any snags that we had when putting it on, as well as what wheels and offset we did as well with the package, so you guys get a little more information. So anyway, that's kind of the specific, if that's what you're wondering. Updating my build. I am also, though, still waiting for my Bronco. Last I heard, it is still setting, and I think it's still setting at. Oh, let me look. I'm actually gonna do a little look right here while we're on there. We're going to see if I can figure out. I haven't gotten an update since the 8th. So according to that, and sometimes I'm a little nervous on that, which means I'm thinking maybe it's still sitting there in Michigan and hasn't moved. Hopefully it's moving and they just haven't had a chance to notify me of any movement. Dealers can kind of look through where it's at in the process. Yep, so it's still sitting there. So on the 8th, I got a notification that it was being shipped out, and that my estimated ETA is the 27th to the 2nd, and right now I haven't had any updates at all since the 8th. So if there's anybody from Ford on the live stream and mine's just stuck there and it hasn't moved, if you could just start it up and hit the little thing on there, because I did actually put my VIN number in so I can know where it's at. But otherwise, let's get that thing on the rail and get it here. I'm really excited to get it, and I know they're doing the best they can, and I appreciate that. But I am really excited to get my my Bronco here. I got, of course, I do have my Roush Bronco package that we're going to put on that coming soon. I think December 1 is when we should get 20 of those packages in. So anyway, all right. So did you also see a dealer memo from Ford saying hybrids would start to be delivered in January? Yes, I did. I actually read that off earlier. Probably didn't see that. Hold on, I gotta get my stream up here so I can see what I'm looking at there. There you go. So yeah, I did, Johnny. I did put that on here. I got that up there. So yeah, we got that. That went out. I actually got lucky enough to get that the night before, so it was pretty cool. Glad they sent that over to me. So yeah, so we should start seeing hybrids hit dealerships in January. So hopefully we can get some of those, and hopefully we get if a customer out there has with Long MacArthur has a hybrid coming in early January, maybe they'll let me drive it just for a test drive. But Johnny's got probably better videos than what I would be able to do anyway. Just watch his if you want to know how the hybrid drives, and I am looking forward to driving one myself. I know of for the Fusion hybrid that I drive that it drives really good, and I think a lot of people sometimes think a hybrid's going to be puny and effort, not have a lot of power, but they're very surprisingly very powerful. So we'd love to drive one though. Okay, keep having my chat get disconnected there. So on my personal account here. So okay, I can confirm and say I saw that bonus happen today for the delay on hybrids. I think if I change my Lightning reservation to Long MacArthur, how will that affect my position in line? It will not. Actually, your reservation, you want to switch your reservation and not just get a new reservation. So you want to switch your reservation from a dealer. I've been told that you can do that through your account, but I do know that you can call the 800 number as well. So I actually have information on that because I did the video earlier. So let me go to Ford's website here. Let me pop this in so you guys can see it. And there we go. So if you go to the Lightning right here, so if you go to the reserve now, you can actually, right there, there's a reservation FAQs. Click on that, and there's information on how to do that. So if you go, there's online reservation, frequently asked questions. You can go down there, and one of them right here is, can customers update their dealer selection for their reservation? Customers can reach out to Ford Customer Service at that number. So 1-800-334-4375, hours of operation. So it kind of goes through that. It also does tell you in updating their dealer selection and changing dealers, there will be no impact to a customer's reservation ID, vehicle details, or the associated timestamp. So, sorry. So hopefully that helps out there and gives you some information on that. Flip back over. So hopefully that will help you out there. So yeah, so if you want to do switch over to us, then you can do that. My mic's still working because I hit the cord real well. There you go. Okay. So yeah, you can switch over your reservation to us if you want. So, all right. So I saw Ridgeview said, great question, Steve. So let me see if I can get up to his question. Hello, MacArthur. Have Tim here. My first Maverick was shipped October 4th. When should we expect it to be at the dealership? Usually about, they tell you usually about 4 weeks. Guess we'll find out on mine if it's just not updating or if it's actually delayed or not, but they usually say about 3 to 4 weeks, I think is what people are seeing. I think that I think actually Johnny's car carrier, one of his videos said his I think his Bronco got to him like in 3 weeks or something, if I remember right from his video. So anyway, so but that's usually about right. I usually tell people about a month just in case it's over or under. You get a good guesstimation there. So. Could you please retell the cutoff date for the hybrids? There's not a specific date. They just said early November. According to the release here, it says, due to high demand, all Maverick hybrid production for the 22 model year is expected to be fully reserved by early November. Once all 22 Maverick hybrids have been reserved, ordering for Maverick hybrid will close until reopening next summer. So they are saying that they're assuming like some of the last orders coming in will be probably delivered to dealerships in May. So you got to figure, they're going to get all those orders done within that time window, and then in the summer, basically, you're going to be looking at 2023s at that point. So. Long MacArthur Honor X-Plan discounts for Lightning. I did find out in some information that we received. Actually, I looked at it last night late because I was up late, but it came through today that they're not doing X-Plan on Lightning. So they're doing A plan, D plan, Z plan, but they're not doing X-Plan on Lightning. So, and we're doing MSRP in all of ours. And again, we're doing the same thing on Maverick. We're doing free shipping if you finance with us and that kind of thing. So. And then Richard asked again. I already answered that. That I don't know the answer to whether or not the hybrid can be flat towed. Maybe I assume so because it's going to be going to be 4x4 standard, and I know the hybrid Maverick can be flat towed. So I'm kind of assuming maybe it will be as well. So. Um, if you can get an allocation for my Maverick hybrid, I'll drive it and take you my on a date with. That sounds great, Adrian. So um, kind of his basically he said that if you can get an allocation for his hybrid, then he would let us take it out for a test drive. So that's kind of cool. So Long McArthur, any idea, Tim, when my second Maverick or my 22 Bronco will be scheduled? Since I have already 10, according to Mike Lett. Well, Broncos are going to be scheduled this week, so we'll just have to see. So you did order yours so that you could get it quickly. So we'll just have to see if they're going to hold to that same what they were doing at the end of the 21 model year, where it seemed like they were scheduling a bunch of big Bens and they were trying to get the first editions out. If they do that same thing, then Steven, you can probably see that maybe your Bronco will get scheduled pretty quickly. And again, we're not having a lot of hybrids being scheduled right now. I know that there are some places that are, and I really believe, my heart believes that East Coast, West Coast is getting a lot of hybrids scheduled, and the Midwest is getting, and is not. We have had, I think, 0 hybrids scheduled this last month. We had 13 the month before. So out of all of our 200 and I think 25 hybrids on order, we've only had 13 of those scheduled so far. So hopefully we see a lot more this next month. So we'll see. Hopefully, Ford's rewarding us for some of our hard work here and having all those orders in for December, and we could see a lot of those hybrids get scheduled. It just like for us, we want those to get scheduled for our customers because we want you guys to have them just as badly as well, because we want, we don't get paid on it until you actually purchase it. So, and getting one scheduled doesn't pay us anything. So we definitely want those built. We want to get them delivered to you guys just as badly, probably not as badly as you want them, but we want to get them delivered to you guys as well. I would love a lightning drive from McArthur back to Tennessee. That would be kind of fun, have figure out all those destinations and where to stop, and that's what's great. I mean, I'm gonna do some videos on the Lightning, but I love what they have in there, where you can plan your trip and through the app and through the screen on the Lightning, where you can figure out where those are at and plan your trip along, so you can charge, stop off. Should be able to charge in some of those quick charging areas. Pretty quickly within just grab lunch or something and have it fully charged and keep going. So it might be kind of fun to plan a trip that way. So all right, if I missed any questions here, I get them feeling flexible. I appreciate you for some of you that have picked up some of these questions as I've been going through this. So appreciate that. How many Ford Pass points does one get on a Maverick? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm thinking around 20,000 if I remember right. I'm not sure. See, I know I actually looked at what's funny. I actually looked at my Ford Pass points today. So I have over 50,000. So I'm going to use mine for some accessories. There we go. So if I can figure where that's at. There we go. So Ford Pass rewards. I don't know if it tells you how many points you get in there for that. Oh wow. Okay, now it says I have 70,000 points, so sitting pretty good on that. So I'm not sure where I got my other 20,000, but I had maybe because I did okay. So you earn different points for different things that you do. I know that if you get a Ford Pass credit card, and I use mine a lot, so it's probably I just got some more points because I got my earnings from last month for my using my credit card, but I think it's right around 20,000. It's supposed to be enough for 2 oil changes, just so you know. That's what Ford's plan was, and I'm not sure the conversion on that. Not real good on knowing that information. I probably should do a little more research on that, but based on the latest updates on and all the hybrid already scheduled, roughly when do you think a 716 order for Lariat luxury hybrid might get scheduled? There's a lot of a lot of variables in there. Allocations at the dealership, as well as what else is on that order. You did say luxury, so right now we know that because of that spray and bed liner, luxury packages are getting, only about 1 out of every 5 is going to be scheduled with a luxury package. We had somebody that scheduled a hybrid with us this week. They went XL hybrid. They didn't do the spray and liner, and actually, no, they went XLT non-luxury package. They didn't. They ordered a hitch, and that was about it. After watching the videos, and I'm like, you might get moved above above a bunch of people because you don't have the luxury package. And not that I wanted to have anybody change a luxury package, but he didn't see things in that package that were of value to him, so he didn't order it that way. But some of those orders could get moved ahead of some others. So there's a lot of variables going there and a lot of algorithms that I'm not smart enough to figure out. And there's some things that can happen at your dealer wherever you're at. If you're with us, if you're with us and you have a hybrid, if you ordered 7/16, July 16th, we had people in June still not scheduled yet. So we're probably, like I said, you're a month into the schedule of when you could order those, and we do have a lot of June vehicles that were ordered that still have not been scheduled. So just keep that in mind there. So. All right, Johnny, thanks for answering that. Ford Pass points on all Fords equal $200. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, I'm not sure the point value, but yeah, so around $200. So cool. I do know it was supposed to be enough for two free oil changes, but $200 should get you more than that. There you go. Is it 42,000 for a hybrid one? So I'm not sure. For some reason, I was thinking it was 24, but I'm not sure. Anyway. All right. And of course, if you guys haven't subscribed to Johnny's channel, I really appreciate your help in here, Johnny. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you got to check his channel out on Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. He does a really good job there. So, all right. Okay. Who's going on with no lease programs for the 22 Maverick? Okay. Yeah. For the 22 Bronco, let's look that up. So, I think people are asking about leasing a Bronco. I don't think the leases are in there for a Bronco. Let's just do it right now. I'll just pick one and then go to the summary. Go down to the calculator. Yep, doesn't look like. Oh, lease is in there, but it says okay. Yeah, all right. So then it says no special lease incentives at this time in your zip code. I think it's probably that way nationwide. It's kind of like the Super Duty. Well, not really. I mean, in a sense, like right now, you can't lease an EcoSport, you can't lease a Mustang, you can't lease a Super Duty or a Bronco. So if you notice, some of those similarities that those vehicles have is that people typically drive a Mustang maybe a little differently, as well as the Bronco. They're going to take it off road. Super Duties, they might tow things with it, that kind of thing. Not sure why EcoSport doesn't have a good lease, or doesn't have a lease in there. But some similarities there is that they don't know how the driver's going to drive that. Of course, a person can do the same thing with an F-150, but you can still lease one. But it seems like to me is that they don't want to do that for some of those people just for the fact that they don't know how they're going to drive them. So, and I think that has something to do with it. So, I'm hunching over here for some reason. Okay, how's my audio doing? Is it doing better tonight? Hopefully you guys enjoying that. I've heard some complaints in the past, but hopefully, yeah, you guys, it's doing better. Why the order banks didn't open today as anticipated? Any idea when the order banks will open now? I don't know, but I really do believe that Ford's going to let dealers know ahead of time. I believe that they're going to tell them the process because of what the scheduling note said last month about going in waves. I think they want to kind of go through the process with the dealers first. But like somebody else had mentioned, I think on one of the forums, why not go ahead and open up the order guide or open up the build and price at least, at least put that out there, even if the order banks can open up so people can play around and see what packages there are and that kind of thing would be kind of a nice thing to do, and I agree, I mean, let's go ahead and at least, cause I want to know too, cause I'm looking at that. I'd like to know, do I want to go up to Lariat? Is XLT with what I think is a premium package, is going to be available, that kind of, is it going to be enough for me and what I want? So anyway, Did your memo that spoke of January hybrid deliveries? Did it also say the game plan was to have all currently ordered hybrids delivered by March 1st? It does not say that. It. I was talking about. I think what I heard somebody else say in a tweet. I think Mike Levine had said something about trying to get those all delivered by May, so that way they could start over and get those orders for 23 started back up in the summertime is I think the goal. So there's no timeline on when those are going to be. It just says here, once 22 Maverick hybrids have been reserved, ordering for Maverick hybrid will close until reopening next summer. So there's no date of getting it. I think March 1st is not going to be achievable. I don't think there's a way they can get all those hybrids built. We have 200, that we need to get have built and scheduled and built. And I don't really think that's realistic there. But I don't know. I mean, that'd be nice. I mean, I guess if they're already building some now, and then you have some being built in January and February and March. Yeah, it doesn't say. I think I heard something about their goal is to try to get them all built by, not get too many so they can build them all by the end of May. So that's what I would think. I don't know, Johnny. Do you have any other information on that? That'd be kind of cool. Maybe you can. I think you're getting information from kind of the same place I am, from within the dealership and such, but. Any idea when Ford plans to releasing the FITS CAD files that they aren't available on the QR codes site? Oh, they aren't. Okay, I actually was going to look that up because someone asked about that. I had it in my notes here, and I didn't have time to do that because we have a Maverick that we sold, but it's waiting to be delivered or being picked up for shipping. And I was actually going to go over and scan that and look that up, but I don't know when that's going to be available. So. Yeah, I do know. Yeah, somebody said May, 11 months for an order date. There are Bronco orders that are waiting longer than that. I will tell you that. So there were people that reserved a Bronco last summer, June, and it's been over a year, and they still haven't received theirs. And we still have about, I think, 60 Bronco orders that. A lot of those ordered in August, September of last year, and they still haven't been even scheduled yet, let alone being built. So we have some people that's going to be over a year and a half probably before their Bronco is built. So I think they know a little bit about, what that's going to be like, and and that sometimes it just happens on a launch. You won't be able to, once they get this launched and get it going, and we get the first initial, those orders out, we're going to see it cycle through a little bit faster, like F-150s are now, and Escape. Now if you were try to order, like I'm going to order an Expedition, it could get scheduled within a month, I mean, that kind of thing. So you can see it go a little bit faster with vehicles that are, revolving, and there are already people that are driving those vehicles and just getting updated vehicles and that kind of thing. Once we get some of this early demand out of the way at the launch, we're going to see that. I think that's just because there's so many people wanting to order those and get those. We are seeing it's taking a while, but once we get with all those orders out, then we can. I think it'll go faster. Next year, if you're wanting to, get one, a 23, it's going to be a little bit quicker turnaround than it is right now. So. And I don't know, because if they go several months without having any hybrids being scheduled for those people, it could be longer. So. Okay, so how many EcoBoost Mavericks do you have left to be picked? We were down to 40, and then 20 got scheduled, but now we're back up to 59. So we keep getting more orders on those. So we're right now, I think we're at. Well, let me look. If you guys don't mind, I don't think you mind, right? Actually, I might have to refresh the screen because if I go to Maverick. And I go to just EcoBoost, take out and just do retail, no stock. Of course, we only have like 3 stocks in order anyway. Oh, wow. Now we're up to 104. How did that happen? So now it looks like we're at 104. I just have EcoBoost and I just have retail. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we have 104 right now, and we have like 59. So we've gotten a lot of orders this week on Maverick, so that's crazy. So we do have that going on. So let's flip that over. Oh, I think I have to reset it. Let me go back and go pick a different model. Go back. Let's see how many hybrids we have. So some of you don't have orders with us. You probably are like, I don't care. But let's see here. It shouldn't take me long. Okay, so now we have and we have 300 hybrid orders. So we have 400 orders right now that have not. Some of those have been scheduled though, so I forgot about changing that status. That would actually help. So we just want to have the unscheduled. So we have 268 hybrids that have not been scheduled yet. And let's go back and change that to on the EcoBoost because I forgot I didn't do that because we have a bunch. So we probably have a total of 100. So EcoBoost, take out stock. And let's just do, I just want to see the unscheduled or material hold, either one. So we have 61. So we have 61 that haven't been scheduled. So sorry, I forgot to take out all the ones that hadn't been scheduled. So hopefully that kind of helps you out. So, but anyway, so. Some dealerships I called adding 3 to 5,000 over onto price after stock ones arrived. Yeah, I have seen that. I actually have seen something else where I've been seeing some dealers that are having which these are some probably you're only seeing probably some of the bad hearing about some of the bad stories, but there are some dealers out there that once their customer vehicles come in and they're coming in and saying, yeah, but there's now a market adjustment because when you ordered it, yeah, MSRP was the way we were going, but now we see the demand and everything. You're gonna have to pay 5,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. So those are some of the bad stories. But so and if they didn't get a signed buyer's order, then maybe they can hold them to something. But I would say I actually did hear that there was a case where a customer tried to sue a dealership, and the dealership actually won on that. But I think if you go through Ford instead of trying to just go through the courts, Ford will go contact those dealers. So try to work through Ford customer service. If you have that type of situation that happens, go through Ford and get them involved because Ford doesn't want to have those type of experiences out on social media. So if you have those situations, give them a bad Google review. That can sometimes help. Also, go straight to Ford and get something and have them work on something. Tell them, I'm going to think about it. Can you give me, 48 hours or something, that kind of thing. It was ordered for you, right? And then just go straight to Ford. Ford will get things that happen. Believe it or not. So. All right. Any luck customizing Maverick, Tim, to give us some ideas? Customizing any luck customizing a Maverick? Tim, give us some ideas. We are working on. If you didn't hear earlier, we are working on a lift right now. So we're trying to figure out which lift is the best one to put on the Maverick to lift it. Also, it's raining. Also, we are getting some different wheels and tires to put on them as well. So we're doing an LMX4 package that we usually do on a lot of our vehicles, where we do a lift, wheels, tires, a lot of times leather interior too. I don't think we're doing the custom leather though. We're just doing a lift and wheels and tires. So we're seeing which is the best setup there for offset with the stock fenders on it versus if you added fender flares, because if you have the offset and where the tires stick out, you're going to want to put them fender flares on that. So it really depends. So we're trying to do it to where you don't have any issues with it turning. So we're gonna do a video that kind of goes over all that. So if you want to do one locally, what's the best lift for you to order for them to put in, as well as what's the best offset for the wheels too for that situation. Any thoughts on any of the issues some are mentioning on the Maverick Truck Club? Yeah, have you been following any of those, and have any of your customers reported anything? No, Mark, can you maybe? I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not getting on there every night right now. I'm trying to also get on the lightning forums as well right now and try to answer questions for people over there. So I haven't been as dedicated to read those. So maybe you can clue me into that. And maybe you can put a comment in there and let me know that. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. So. Not at Law McArthur, Jeff. More people want EcoBoost. Actually, right now, they're doing. I think what they had said was initially they thought about 40% of the people would want the hybrid, so that's why they were building it at that rate. From what I understand, from I think Mike Levine had tweeted that out, and then they're seeing now that it's not that way. So they thought 6% would want an EcoBoost, but like here at Law MacArthur, we out of the 300 orders we had, we had, what, 100 EcoBoost and over 200 hybrids. So, we do have a lot more people that want a hybrid than an EcoBoost here. So, and of course, we have orders all over the country, not just in Salina. So, in fact, we have a lot of people that like driving hybrids around here. So, great fuel economy. But, the other thing I looked at was, looking at that EcoBoost, at 30 miles to the gallon on the highway, that's not bad fuel economy. I can live with that. And that's another reason I kind of looked at that vehicle. I am working on something, like I said, on the one that I ordered that we're going to get scheduled, since I had an order in on an EcoBoost. That I flipped that over to EcoBoost, and we're going to put a lift, wheels, and tires and such. That I'm probably going to sell that. But what I want to do is I want to see if we could. Haven't got this, passed through management and everything yet, but I want to do something with that where we donate some of that profit to an organization, to a charity and such, and probably a charity of my choosing, since it was my order. So I don't know if you guys realize, but yesterday was World Spina Bifida Awareness Day, and my grandson has spina bifida. And so that's a cause that I'm close to and dear, just because of somebody close to me that has spina bifida. But that is, if we did something like that and everything, and that was fine, it'd be something that maybe auction off or something like that on eBay or whatever. And I would take all of the proceeds and put it all towards that charity. So haven't asked that out there with management, so don't tie me into any of that. But if not, probably just sell that vehicle at MSRP then instead. But that was my goal, is to see if they would be okay if I could sell it, and anything over MSRP would go to a charity, and if they would be all right with that. So anyway, but yesterday's Spina Bifida Awareness Day. So until about 4 years ago now, I wasn't aware that much of what spina bifida was. So do some research there. There's a lot of varying things there. So, but there are a lot of people that live with spina bifida. So our dealer gave us four oil changes that came to 42,000 points. So okay, so I think I think Ford's doing on the points. So maybe so you're probably correct. It's 42,000 points, and like I think I do believe that Johnny's right as well. It's probably $200, and I think that's correct. And I think that some dealers, depends on, like, they want to be able to do it to where if it's a diesel engine, those oil changes are more expensive. So that way they can provide for 2. Otherwise, you may get 4 oil changes. So that lasts you a while. So anyway. All right. Some mentioned sluggish touchscreen or unresponsive radio. Some have mentioned slight hood flutter in the hinge area. Might be due to aluminum hood. I actually hadn't heard that, Mark. We haven't had any known issues on any of ours. They seem to all be pretty good and not have any issues. I did a video on one of the touch. I ended up not doing it because my audio cut out on me on the touchscreen, but it was pretty responsive when I was using it. So I'm not seeing that having any issues with any of the ones that we have. But anyway. So have to keep our eyes on that, but hopefully there's not any major issues. So alrighty, any other questions? We're right around 8 o'clock, and I'm willing to go past 8 if you have more questions for me. If I missed any questions early on that you had that I didn't answer, go ahead and, of course, tag Law MacArthur there, or and I will get those answered for you. All right. Okay. Especially since it's raining outside. I don't want to go outside anyway. So for a little bit till it stops raining. All right. Any other questions for me? You said 2022 F-150 stock order only. What does that mean? That means a dealer stock vehicles. So what they're trying to do is because they want to try to, I know dealers are wanting to try to get their vehicles for end of the year clearance. Usually they focus in on, special 0% for that kind of thing for December. So they're trying to get some of that stock allocations to dealers. So anything ordered. In fact, we didn't even have I think we had 20 stock allocations that were given to us for this week, and we didn't even have 20 stock units put into the system because we had customer orders in there, and so we had to go ahead and build out some, have them in there, so that on Tuesday they would start, previewing and scheduling our 20 that we have. So stock allocations are for vehicles on dealer lots. Retail allocations are for customers, custom builds. Can McArthur replace Pirelli tires with Falcon 235s? We probably could do that because we could always use those Pirellis on another vehicle. So, Peter, we could probably figure that out for you. I think you had actually messaged me earlier in the week about that. So we'll have to figure that out. I know you mentioned something about some fender flares, I think, if I remember right. So we could probably get you some fender flares ordered through parts or through Blake over there, and we could probably get those put on for you. And yeah, I think on most of the FX4 packages, they're all-terrain tires. Really just depends on what they are, because I think even when you try to order one right now, you don't have necessarily an option on what tires you get. I might be wrong. Let's just build one out. Lariat 2.0. And let's go to powertrain. Let's go all-wheel drive. And let's go to packages. Build a couple of these out. You can tell. FX4 package. And I think if you hit details, I think it just tells you that they're all-terrain tires. Yeah, they just say all-terrain tires on there. I guess you can't see that because I didn't go to that. So you're just looking at me just on my computer, right? So let me go back over here so you can see what I'm doing here. So yeah, so FX4 package, it says all-terrain tires there. So it doesn't tell you what kind of tires. And I think if we go up to exterior where the tires would be, we do have, let's see if we click on this one. It just says all-terrain tires. It doesn't really say. Oh, there you go. Okay. So you have to remove that. So I think that's just the size that we're looking at there, between 17s and 18s right there. That's the difference in that. So I think when you go FX4, it's 18s. I might be wrong. Can't remember. I'm on the spot right now. So you go there, it's 17. So typically when you're going off road, you want a smaller rim, more tire tread. Typically when you go off road, so that's why it's 17. So if it wants you to go 18s, then you have to take off the FX4 off road package if you want to go that route. So anyway, so all right, anything else? That's why I changed my 4-door Bronco to a base with auxiliary switches in the hopes of getting a quick build. Yep. Some people want to do that, and I've had people tell me that, I'm compromising on my build. And, actually, when I got to looking at it, I thought maybe I should have just went Badlands, base Badlands, maybe just a mid package, which I think is standard on a Badlands, but when I was really originally building, I didn't settle because that was the trim that I looked for. Because, I don't plan on trading in my F-150. I still have it, and I wanted to get another vehicle, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money anyway. And I'm telling you what, yeah, I mean, even a base Bronco is very well equipped. I mean, it is capable of going off road. You do not, I mean, Badlands is purely made to go off road with the sway bar disconnect, standard the front diff, locking diff, as well as the rear. That's all standard on those Badlands and the Black Diamonds. With mine, I did add the rear locker, which I was able to do, and that's for what I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to need. So if I'm truly going to be an off-roader, then I would go Badlands, and I would wait for mine. But I know it's mainly going to be driving around town, and it's look good, and it's going to drive nice on the road and everything. So I mean, that's just but I was okay with the Big Ben. There's a lot of good equipment there. I have a Big Ben with the mid package. I mean, I'm getting the intelligent access, the dual zone climate. I'm getting heated seats. I'm getting all that equipment. Intelligent. I think I already mentioned intelligent access. I'm still getting the Sync 4 with the 8-inch touchscreen is big enough for me. It's very well equipped and looks nice. So it's what's Tim's email on Gmail? Oh, if you want to email any questions over to me at fordvideoguy@gmail, that's how you can send those questions on over. And actually, I can go over there right now and see if there's any other questions in there. Yeah. So Ford Video Guy here. Let me just type this in. So I'm actually going to type it in because I'm logged in as myself here. But so Ford, oop, Video Guy at Gmail. And in future weeks, I'll try to have that actually down in the description for you. So if you need that, so you can have that there as well. Hmm. Okay. So, thanks. Okay. So, they were asking for a delayed hybrid order. You're supposed to get some extra points. So, just checked 20,000 points for hybrid delay on top of regular points for new Fords. So, total of $300 in Canada. Wow. That's nice. Okay, so Johnny, you're in Canada, so you're probably looking. I'm not sure what that relates to U.S. dollars, but yeah. So I'd forgotten that those that had a delay, I should have kept my hybrid. Was going to get some extra points and just go, a little bit more for you to go towards some accessories and such. They actually, if you did get an email too earlier that they're going to send out, that fits system, like a little package that has, I think the cup probably has like the cup holders, a little trash can, and some different things like that you can put in the vehicle. That's going to be sent out to all the hybrid orders as well because of the delay. So they reward you if you got a Bronco on reservation. I've gotten a couple different Bronco gifts. So I got a hammock. It says hang in there. So it was really creative. So it's different things like that. Mm. I did get the keyless entry keypad added to mine, Johnny. That's something that I like to do. Is that I will have intelligent access, but like my truck, I don't have intelligent access, so I like to leave my keys in it and use the keypad to get in and out, and then just grab my keys and start it, or if I leave in the ignition, that kind of thing. So sometimes I'll do that, but with this one, I'll have the key fob. My wife's real big into wanting that intelligent access. She has to have that in the car anymore. So that is so it's kind of something that they're looking at. So I send you an email, please. I read to the group and answer if possible. Yeah, let me pull that over here. Oh, there we go. All right. I'll be in the chat. I wanted to know if you can tell the group if Maverick Hybrid is shipping first in, first out. I would think so. Probably the ones that were built first, or the ones that are going to probably go out first. I would assume. I don't know for sure. They didn't tell us in this release, but I would just assume so. I don't see why. I mean, if they're already ready to go, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't send those out first. And maybe they're going to send out a bunch of them at once, and we're going to see just a ton of. So hopefully those transport drivers are ready to move vehicles from Mexico to the U.S. In December and get those to us in early January, because there's gonna be a bunch of them going there. So also Jeffrey has asked on the club board, someone posted something on the launch finance program. Can you discuss that more and how it works? I'm not sure what the launch finance program is. I do know that there's 0% available. Maybe that's what you're talking about on there. So if you're looking at that and you're going to the summary, I believe right now there is 0% for 36 months. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to on the finance deal. So yeah, if you go 36 months at 0% for 36, and then 48 at 0.9, 60 it's 1.9. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about on the launch program, but I answered that for you. All right. Oh, by the way, Johnny, if you ever want to switch girls with me, I love the grill on the Badlands. So if you ever, want the big band grill, let me know. We can do some swapping there. Just kidding. I'm sure you don't. I think the Badlands is the best looking grill of all of them. I like it. I actually like it a little bit better than the Wild Track grill. So it's all black. Is this a cleanup scheduling week for Maverick? What does that mean? A cleanup week means that dealerships that still have allocations available, they're going to try to schedule those and just kind of fill into their weeks where they have open slots. So you might usually a cleanup week is going to be if they're scheduling like last week, if they were scheduling for December 13th that week, then they might fill in the 13th and then maybe the 6th if they have a couple extra slots or whatever. They just try to fill into their scheduling into those weeks that they've already scheduled for, but also for dealerships that have allocations that didn't get used. So by now we're on the third week of the month. And so if dealers still have allocations left, that means they have orders that are in there that do not fit what they're looking for, whether it be a tonneau cover that's on there or a luxury package that's on there, or they have splash guards on a vehicle or whatever. They have something on those that could stop those from being scheduled. And so they will actually tell dealers that, hey, try to take these things off your orders if you want those to get scheduled. So that's typically what a cleanup is to try to get some of those ones scheduled if you have allocations. So that way you use all your monthly allocations before the next month starts over. And I think that's going to be November. We're doing scheduling next week. So I think the week of the 8th is when November's scheduling is going to start. So I'm really looking forward to next Monday. So next week's live stream, I'll be able to share with you guys how many allocations we have, or at least we think we're going to have. Typically, they give us allocations and we request for more on that day that we do wholesale, which is the 1st. And then usually they kind of lock things in on that Thursday. So the 4th, 5th is when they'll lock in. So those numbers may change a little bit. We actually, I think, we had our 20 number didn't change any, but that's typically how that will work. So maybe I should send a small trinket for all Maverick orders so we could verify they know we exist. I think they know you guys exist. So they know, they see that. I think that they're in those forums and different things because there's been times where I've emailed and said we need to tell people what's going on, even if it's just like what they did, just as soon as that EPA number came out, they knew they needed to get to communicate to you of what's going on and that kind of thing. But I do agree, they're giving that fits package, but I think giving you some extra points through your Ford Pass as well. They did that for Bronco customers as well. So I think Ford's doing a good job of rewarding the customers and giving them things because of delays and such like that. So. All right. Somewhat dissatisfied, disappointed with you guys. Definitely did not take care of me. I asked you to call me because it was not ready to follow on. Yep. Well, we got you taken care of though, Eddie. So we hopefully I do know there's a couple of days there we had one of our sales guys that their phone wasn't working. They actually had to get a new cell phone, so they didn't even have a cell phone there. And as some of you know, there's a chip shortage in cell phones as well. But he did have some issues getting that. So, but we hopefully again, if ever you guys have any, if that's you're needing followed up or whatever, just contact me. Again, you have my email address there too, so you can just contact me at the dealership here. And actually, I will admit I'm struggling as well. I'm not going to show you names or anything, but I have a lot of people that I need to follow up with. I think I had 11 messages today that I need to call people back. So I've had a lot of calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still have 7 that I need to call yet. So I'm probably just as bad right now. I'm trying to get everybody called back from different messages that I have to help people out as well. But sometimes we get a little bit busy here, but so sorry about that. So hopefully we can keep you updated every couple of weeks on the status going forward, though, for you, Eddie. And I think you're gonna really enjoy your Bronco Sport, by the way. So it's gonna be a pretty cool Bronco. So what it costs to get Lariat rims. Oh, that's a good question. So if you wanted lariat rims instead of the XLT rims, I assume what you're saying, and maybe on like a Maverick, a lot of them I think look pretty similar um, in style. Well, no, not the standard lariat rim. They actually do look different. They're machined with the ebony pockets. It looks like there. So there are some different looks rims there. So let's flip this over so you can see. So yeah, there's different rim designs based on what you different packages and such. Of course, the black ones I think are part of the FX4, and there we go. But actually, I like these right here, the bright aluminum, which I think is a standard wheel on the Lariat. So we can get those in through parts for you, and we can always do that. Just I think it would just be what the upcharge. These what the prices that you see in here are the cost difference from going to one wheel to another. So when one of this says, I think it says 795, that's actually the upgrade to that wheel. Typically a lot of those wheels are about a $1,600 upcharge between the wheels, and if you have to get tires to go with them. If it's the same tire will fit on that wheel, then that's different. We can always put those tires on them. Then that you don't have to spend as much there. But a lot of times for us, if we're going to be able to have those wheels to put on another vehicle, we can give you a credit for that part and just what the difference is. So it just really depends. But our aftermarket department can take care of all that there. So all right. Thanks, Mark. I really actually, Mark says thanks for the devoting so much time and passion into the Maverick and other Ford products. I actually do really enjoy the Ford products and learning it and knowing it. Kind of a analytical type of guy, so I like to know all those things. And hopefully, you guys get a chance to see my Timberline video later this week. Where I really enjoyed. It's been a while since I had a physical vehicle that I could do a walk around and kind of go over what's standard and what's optional on those. I really enjoy doing those videos because of that, and so hopefully you guys get a chance to watch that video, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And it's pretty cool looking. I really like the Timberline edition. I think actually Johnny, if he's still in here, I think he got a chance to look at one if I remember right. So yeah. Can you send your Ford rep some gifts? Yeah, I think our Ford rep is not the one. I mean, they're only carrying the message over. It's somebody above them that we need to get involved here to get more allocations. So, those of you that have allocations with us, I know that you guys are really wanting them. I want to fulfill them as well. So, I'm really last month when we went from 45 to 20, it was just like, ow, that's not gonna be cool. But anyway, so hopefully we get a lot more allocations this month. So anyway, and if I had email addresses to tell you, but anyway, but I switched from hybrid to EcoBoost about a week ago, and I want to switch back to hybrid now. Am I going to keep my place in line? Yes. Yeah. You can make changes to your order. Doesn't change that. It could, your position in line really, again, it really goes to what you have built, what's in there, of where it might look to pull that. Because every week they're looking at, you're kind of looking at when the build is, but also what it is. So they're going to be looking for orders that have what they're looking for, and then if they have 2, 3, 4, or 10 of them that fit that criteria, and they have 5 allocations, then they're going to go from that top one, the one that was submitted first, and then work their way down in that fashion. So putting your order in and when you put it in has some bearing to when it gets selected. Some of the other things that affect it is what you put on your build. So like I've said with my Bronco, I got my Big Ben. I was 95th in our orders for 21s, and I got scheduled 25th. So it's because of what I ordered, not necessarily when I ordered, because I ordered very late. So thank you for your work. I'd also like to upgrade my XLT wheels to a Lariat ones. Do we get credit for the exchange wheels? Typically we do. If we do it in-house, we can usually do that. Some dealers may not do that. They'll probably just charge you for the wheels and then tell you that your wheels, those are yours, or they might buy your wheels back from you. Some dealerships, we do a lot of, taken, like, for us, if you wanted to do something like that, we would we would give you a credit for your XLT wheels, because what we would do is, then when we get one of if we ever get any of our stock allocations scheduled, we would put that on maybe an XL and dress up an XL. So that's typically what we would do, because we know that we're going to be having Mavericks for a while, so we can always put those wheels on another vehicle. So that's something that we would do, but not all dealerships think like we do. Personally, I like the Steelies on the XL. Yeah, there are a lot of, there's actually a like fan group out there on the Steelies on the XLs, so that's pretty cool. So thanks, Mark, for becoming a member of the Law McArthur crew. So I appreciate that. Oh, you guys can't even see my camera. There we go. So might have flashed on the screen, but anyway, so here we go. Thanks for becoming a member. If you want to learn more about that, right down there by the subscribe button, just to the left is a information on the join. Just click that join button. You can learn a little bit more about our different perks that we have there. I actually just recently ordered some products there for our long Mac crew. So I'll get more information about that when those come in. So anyway. All right, hey, lost my internet for a few minutes, so if you answered this, sorry, but our XLT all-wheel drive with the luxury package on delay. Well, technically they're not delayed. It's just they're not scheduling as many of those with the luxury package on those. They're scheduling about 20% of the vehicles that they schedule. So let's say we have 20%. Let's say we have 20 allocations. So of those 20 allocations, they're saying about 20% of those will have the XLT luxury package. So that means that they're going to be looking for either other trims or whatever to fulfill the rest of those allocations. So they're only going to pull about 20%. So that's going to be 4 vehicles will have the luxury package out of the 20. So that's typically how they're going to do that. So we get a hybrid before March order with Law McArthur. I hope so. I don't have a lot of control over that, and I know it's frustrating. I wish I had more answers and such on being able to forecast that for you, but I really don't know. So hopefully we can get those scheduled as quick as possible. So get some of that out to you, get those vehicles out to you. We want to get these on the road, especially those hybrids, so you guys can drive those. And you can tell us. I'm sure people are going to see how what fuel economy they can get, because I'm sure they're going to be able to get more than 42 miles per gallon on some of those that on here on Rangers. 2023 Ranger production dates. We're working on 22 right now. So I think that they didn't schedule this week, right? So we'll actually get more information this week, and I'll be able to share that with you guys next week. 22 Rangers are scheduling this week, so we should be getting some production dates here pretty soon if you have a 22 Ranger on order. So I don't know if you have that on order with us, but 22 Rangers are being scheduled. Build date changes. Darren is my salesperson. Lariat 2.0 front-wheel drive. Original schedule week was 11/8, changed to 10/25, and now back to 11/8. What caused the fluctuation in the build dates? Maybe they had an opening and yours got pulled forward, and then maybe something happened there or whatever, and so it got moved back. I really don't know. There's a lot of things that happen at the factory level that affect that and those dates moving. I actually can't remember my original build date on my Bronco, but I felt like it got moved forward. It kind of got pulled forward because I was thinking it was like 11/11, and then I thought it got pulled forward, but I might have been wrong. So sometimes those dates can move around, and it might have just been a glitch for a little bit, and maybe it was always going to be 11/8. So Mike needs to let me know the package. That package we talked about. Yep, I actually asked him about that the other day. All right, Tim, are you marking up Raptors? We are marking up Raptors. For those of you that are out there interested in that, we are marking up Raptors, and that's because we've actually had people wanting to buy our Raptors for $10,000 over sticker. I think we had all of ours priced around $10,000 over sticker, and we sold all of them within a couple days from getting all of them. So I think we sold about 10 Raptors already, and all of them about 10 over. I think the last one, I think right now we have one listed at 15, just because we know wholesalers are wanting to buy them at 10, and then they're going to sell them for about 15. So we know that's about the market on those. And so that's, we try to not go crazy, but we want to know where that market value is. And when we have a lot of auction companies, or we have people that are going out there and looking for vehicles, and if they see we have vehicles, they're saying, hey, they'll just send out emails and say, hey, we're looking for any Raptors, we'll do 10 over on any Raptors. So we know that's the market, that's the wholesale value of those Raptors. And so that's that's kind of where we price those vehicles at. So just because there's not a lot out there, and we did actually get a lot of allocations for Raptors based on the Raptor sales we had for 2020, for 2020. And so we were able to get a lot of Raptor allocations, and I think we have maybe one left. Keep looking at my computer here. Okay. Oop. Let me look. F-150s. And yep, we do have one Raptor left. And that's how we have it priced, is 15 over right now. So and it's been sitting there for a little bit. Actually, one of my favorite colors. It is the that Velocity Blue. And maybe it's sitting there because we do have it priced at 15. So so I know some people are saying that's kind of price gouging, but Raptors have always brought over MSRP for a long time. I think not until like 2020 did we see them go for about sticker, and that was back when vehicles were going for invoice back then. So so as demand changes, it's all supply and demand. So we usually base it off of what's going on at the auctions and what people are willing to pay for them, and that's where we usually price those. So. Tim, where did you get your white small Bronco behind you? I found actually one of the guys at the dealership. They go to like Walmart and different places. Actually, Sam's Club. I think they got them at Sam's Club. So they've been getting different ones at the different. I think Sam's Club is where they found these, and so when they find them, they just go ahead and scoop up all that they have. And so anyway, so yep, the guys got them. They surprised me with it 1 week. Not the color of my Bronco, and it's 2-door, not 4-door, but that's all right. So they're actually someone that has an Area 51 around here somewhere that's even a 4-door, and I've been tempted to switch them out, but I haven't. So. Alrighty, well, folks, I think I'm about ready to end the stream for this week. We're about at 8:30 now, but I do appreciate you guys for joining the stream and asking me questions. And again, you can send those questions to FordVideoGuy@gmail for future weeks, and we'll get those. That way, it gives me a good starting point for the questions. And again, typically I start getting into the chat and reading questions about 15 after the hour for most of those questions. So save those questions up until then, and then of course tag me there. But so again, thanks for watching this video. One last question, Tom, you asked about spray and bed liners. We charge the same price it is from the factory. I think it's $5.99 for spray and liners. I think it's for Maverick, I think it's $4.95. It is smaller than our F-150s and that kind of thing. So anyway, so thanks for having the live stream. Any word on first edition Mavericks? The first edition has been scheduled for a while. I think some people said that they had a Rapid Red with splash guards that's being scheduled for December. I think a lot of them been scheduled for a while, so we've been seeing that. Our general sales manager, his first edition got scheduled this week for middle of December. So a lot of the first editions are starting to get scheduled out for that time frame. So I think we're going to start seeing more and more of those coming up. So again, thanks for watching the stream, everybody. I do appreciate you joining me tonight and hitting me with all those questions. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, if anybody jumped in the live stream, you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Hit that like button as well. Hit the notification bell. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I really appreciate Johnny's Car Care and Reviews jumping on here. Go to his YouTube channel. He does a great job as well, and give him a subscribe. Hit that notification bell for his videos as well. And they're very entertaining and very informative as well. Between the two of us, I think we've been helping out the community on the different videos out there on Maverick. I think him and I are probably primarily the ones putting Maverick content out there. So definitely check out his YouTube channel. He does stuff on Bronco as well, a lot of similar to what we do here. So definitely check out his YouTube channel as well. Again, thanks for watching the video. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Law McArthur News and Q&A. Thank you. Have a great week.